Hello again, everybody. Zacatech is here. My thoughts on who's actually going in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as of 2018. A few months back, I gave you my thoughts on who was nominated. Now they announced the 5 inductees plus an early influence who's going in. Give my thoughts on who's going in and my thoughts on who got shafted, who got kind of screwed over. Plus, which of the people that were nominated this year that did not get in could have an opportunity to be nominated again for the class of 2019. If you haven't noticed on my videos, I've not made a lot of music stuff. I've taken a little hiatus from Attack Line and Attack Sports. It's not much to talk about often to get me going again on those topics. I've mostly stopped watching football that much. I don't watch it anymore, kind of boycotting it with my dad over the politics. So that's why I've only made a lot of wrestling stuff. The music news today, I'm a disc jockey, but the new music stuff doesn't really impress me. It's just like the old stuff, especially people that are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So that's why I'm making. And that's why I did not make a Grammy thing this year. I didn't make a Grammy. I used to make a thing about the Grammys, about nominations every year, about my thoughts on them. And then I make that video. But I am making thoughts on the Hall of Fame video. So, before I tell you who went in, of course, they had the fan balance. The top vote getters. Of course, top 5, they had 1 vote counted in the total tally of votes from committee. Because you'll be eligible up to 25 years of your first release. But some bands had to wait a long time to finally get on the ballot, even when they've been eligible for a long time. The top 5 vote getters were the Cars, Dire Straits, Moody Blues, Bon Jovi, and Judas Priest. Those are the people that got the top 5 votes. Well, only 4 out of 5 of the top vote getters got in. Instead of Judas Priest, it's Nina Samone. Wow, Priest got screwed over there. Stupid. But that's what happened to the Cars the last couple of years. You know, the Cars were one of the top vote getters. And they did not get in. And now they're finally in. They are finally in this year, the Cars.
The 28th.
Finally in the Cars. So they're in along with Jovi, Straits, Moody Blues, and Nina Samone. And nominee that was on there, Sister Rosetta Tharpe, is in as a early influence. They have a category for early influence. And she's in for that. So, there you go. Now, Nina Samone, I've heard her name. She's like a famous soul singer. Had a tragic passing because they did have a recent Netflix documentary about her called Where Are You, Nina Samone? Maybe watch that now because I'm planning on going to the induction ceremony, which is in Cleveland. I'll explain that in a bit. So, she's in and she was known for big groundbreaking for black empowerment. A lot of people have sampled it, including Lauryn Hill, Kanye West, or been honored by them. Kanye sampled, for what I'm reading here. She sang a song from Roger and Best and did some covers, including I Put a Spell on You, Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood. That was a song by the Animals. So I don't know much about Miss Samone. But with me seeing her get inducted, of course, unfortunately, as I mentioned, she passed away. So probably represented by her family. There'll probably be some sort of a tribute performance. You know, like some newer artists that got influenced, like some people I mentioned, like Lauryn Hill, many others. One of those people or more I did not mention may be able to honor her. Same with Sister Rosetta Tharpe, too. She passed away, too. So she's probably going to honor her with a tribute performance as well. So, she was in the 40s with something like Rock Me, That's On the Lonesome Road. So she had influenced a lot of artists, but she doesn't get the recognition. So it's kind of interesting when you look at it that way. Seeing her get some respect. Same with Nina Simone. She was respected for years, but then her legacy's been forgotten by many. Now with the recent documentary on Netflix, and now, like I said, in the Hall of Fame as well. It's going to add on. Mention also going in Moody Blues. The group mostly known for the hit 60s song Lights and White Satin. That's the only one I know from them. It's not. I think it's that's like their most common song is Nights and White Satin. That's like the most famous song. But they're probably more known for other songs. It's like more than that. It's like, oh, we're not just the band that does Ace of Spades. We do other songs too. Like Go Now, Tuesday Afternoon, among other songs other than, Nights and White Satin. They still tour to this day. They've been like at Caesars here in Michigan. Well, it's near Michigan, like Caesar Windsor. Not that far from my house, but maybe an hour from my house is Windsor, Canada. And they had a top 10 in the 80s with a song called Your Wildest Dreams. They had a video on MTV for it. And there was several polls by people who should be in the Hall of Fame. Rolling Stone have said these guys should be in it. And they are finally in it. Which lead singer of the group, Justin Hayward, said to Billboard magazine, saying that he wasn't excited at first. He didn't care about it. Now they do care. Saying, I find it I could have cared less. But on Saturday, the whole world looked different. My reaction was, wow, it's outstanding, really. Saying that at times like this, I wish I was American. I could appreciate the scale of it, because they're British. I wish I was American. Yeah. But I am extremely grateful to them for creating that sort of temple to all that music has brought me. There's nowhere else in the world like that. And I'm very grateful to them for creating that place. Now, after all these years, I'm incredibly grateful to them for including us. It's an absolute privilege to be celebrated in the same building, on the same street, in the same town, even as Buddy Holly and the Everly Brothers. He's also honored to be included in the same class as Nina Simone, saying that she's always been my heroine. In the mid-60s, she was one person musically that I was able to hang on to. She had a song called Lilac Wine that me and my girlfriend, it just meant so much to us, and it's such a loving song. And Haywood and the bassist and the drummer have spoken to each other since learning of the induction, and former members will be inducted. And they see no reason why the original lineup, the key lineup, cannot reunite for the induction. Justin said, there's nothing's been said that can't be unsaid. There's no problem there. There's certainly no bad feeling in any way. It would be lovely, but I can't predict what will happen. So probably Moody Blues will probably be there to perform. But when it comes to former members being able to perform with them, the invitation is open. We'll see if they take it. Speaking of that, we'll get to Bon Jovi later. We'll save them for last. Speaking of members getting back together, how about a band has not performed in over 20 years reuniting? Being Dire Straits. Of course, mostly known for hit songs like Brothers in Arms, or the album Brothers in Arms, that had the huge singles like Money for Nothing, Walk of Life, and also years earlier with a song called Sultans of Swing, but I like a song from Brothers in Arms called Far Away. Yes, so far away from me, you're so far away from me, so far away from me, so far I just can't see. Now, Mark Knopfler has been a solo artist for over 25 years since the group broke up in 93 after, I think it was like on East Street or something. It was like the last time in 92. But bassist John Isley saying that he's excited, that he feels like going to Hall of Fame is like joining a rather large executive club. It's a rather beautiful thing. Moody Blues finished second, and Dire Straits finished third. According to Isley, said, it sort of fills me up with a lot of pressure. I must say, to be recognized and to be included in the thing we love doing best, which is making music and playing rock and roll. Of course, a lot of people criticize the uses of the rock and roll name in the rock and roll because a lot of people like pop artists and rap artists have been all in fame, but that's a question for another time. We still discuss Dire Straits to be a rock and roll band. like I said, the big question is, will there be a reunion of Dire Straits performing at the show? Of course, Mark, as I mentioned, Mark Knopfler is a guitar player in his own right now, and done stuff with Emmylou Harris, and is a solo artist, saying that Mark is quite restrained about things like this. That's what Elsley said, saying that we have spoken about the induction. We just said, oh, that's nice. I think it would probably be important if Mark and I were there. I'll definitely be there. And I'll definitely talk Mark into coming as well. It's essentially up to him if he wants to do anything, and completely respect his feelings about it. He doesn't want too much white light. There's a keyboardist named Alan Clark who's with former members of the band with their own band called Legacy. The debut album just came out. And is reserving his commitment to attend the ceremony until the group's plans are determined. I'll go if there's a reason to go. If Mark decides he wants to go and put something together and go perform there, jump back to 92. The last gig we played in Spain, I said, that'll be the last gig we'll ever play. When people say, will the band get back together? I always say no. But will we get together for this? I don't know. I'd be totally into the idea. So that's just probably what happened, is that it might be like the Kiss situation where like the members will show up, but maybe not perform. So we'll see what happens with Dire Straits, if any members will show up to accept the induction, but more importantly, will they perform? That's a question for another time. Going in, they've been on the top 5 fan ballot. I think the last 2 years they've been on the ballot. They were in the top order, and now they are finally in, being the Cars. Their influence on the pop rock scene, late 80s, early 80s, late 70s, with classics like You're Just What I Needed, Shake It Up, Let's Go, I just played Moving in Stereo a few weeks ago. I was at a bar the day before Thanksgiving and during the so-called biggest bar night of the year, and some girl requested it to me. She's like a young girl, man. She must have a father who raised her on classic rock, like my dad raised me on classic rock. And she requested Moving in Stereo, and actually was very well received. Of course, the band members are very excited about induction, including the drummer, David Robertson, saying, I had a feeling. Saying he woke up early to see the induction announcement this morning. He was already informed of it days before by his manager, but he wants to hear it for himself. That's why he woke up this morning. Saying, I thought the local stage would be covering it. 4 people called me and said, congratulations. I said, nothing has been on, but it came on when I was talking to the 4th person. Luckily, they had some nice footage of us playing live, so it was good. And he's saying it's great that we're getting inducted now, especially because next year, it's the 40th anniversary of their debut album. You know, they're working on, they remastered all their albums, but now they're going to expand the album with additional tracks and stuff. It is a nice honor. He also said that he's proud of the people he's inducting with. But he does question Nina Simone going in, saying that I'm not sure if he was a big supporter of rock and roll. That seems a little odd to me. And he said he even voted a couple of times for other bands. You know, he's not like, why everything. And of course, he talked about debate about whether or not rap and disco artists deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. He said very seldom. He said it should be called Popular Music Hall of Fame. It really jam with some of the artists. He's like, yeah, probably because we all saw jam at the end. They always have that happening. And then you have Rick Ocasek being asked about it, saying that it's kind of like a whole beginning and end. Although I don't think the Hall of Fame is the end. It's a long journey that vaguely started in Cleveland and vaguely comes to some resolve in Cleveland again. Now, the Cars have not performed together in certain years. They went on a breakup. Some members did a thing with Todd Rundgren before Rick Ocasek finally came back to the fold and did a full-on reunion album, Move Like This, in 2011. They did a tour, and that was it. They haven't done anything since. Then, of course, they are still battling the fact that they are still losing the fact that they lost Benjamin Orr in 2000, one of their main key songwriters, guitarists, and singer. Of course, like I said, members are open to a jam when it comes to the chances of performing. I wanted to see the Cars on that 2011 tour, but it only did like a few dates. It was all on Wick. Didn't want to do a lot of touring. And they're saying that besides looking at reissues of their albums for the anniversary, saying that we'll think about maybe doing an album with this revving us up. So they're open to performing. Other members, David Robinson and Rick Ocasek. So I would love to see the Cars there perform. So that's a big possibility. They have not performed in a while, but there's probably no ill will. So there's that. But now on to my favorite inductee besides the Cars, Bon Jovi getting in. After years of ignorance, they're finally in. Do I need to say their hit songs? Love a Bad Name, Wanted, Dead or Alive, Living on a Prayer, their 80s rock radio classics that are still played to this very day, but they also hits in the 90s with Always, Keep the Faith, and even It's My Life in the 2000s. Well, in 2000s. The band are excited. According to Tico Torres and David Bryan, I almost said David Johnson, Alec Johnson, bassist. They're very excited with David Bryan saying it's great. There are a lot of great people that are in it. There are a lot of people that aren't in it and deserve to be in it. There's a lot of people that are going to be in it. It's a nice recognition of 25 years after 84, which is when our first record came out. We're what I call a current classic. We still have a #1 record, and we're still out there touring the entire earth. This happens a lot of bands, especially touring bands like Chili Peppers and Rush, that are still actively touring when they get inducted. They don't feel like it's a retirement thing. You're like, you get in the Hall of Fame when you're retired. That's what many people feel, but they're not that bad. Tico was elated, saying that he called his mom and son about it. He had to tell his mom right away. Giving appearances of it. And he said it was kind of interesting to be in Hall of Fame because we were at the grand opening of the museum concert in 1995. They performed with a lot of rock legends like Eric Burden and many others. So it's kind of cool to go in after that performance, they said. And to get it after Christmas, they're excited. And they're also open to a jam at the end with all the other bands. They Moody Blues wasn't asked whether or not they would be interested in a jam. I mentioned the Cars members would be interested in an all-star jam. That's what they always like to end the show with, is an all-star jam, unless some people play too long or speak too long. Like what happened one year, they had to cut the jam because the East Peak Band took too long. So they're both excited, and so is, of course, John Bon Jovi. They are in the middle of working on a new album. There'll be an EP coming out in January, including a new song called Waltz, which is very politically timing. Trump, I'll say that. Politics. Of course, the band just got done with a tour. You know, this house is not for sale. You know, just got done with that album. In that tour cycle. Now, it's interesting to look at the list of who's going in. Like, Hugh McDonald's not going in. He's not listed as a member who's going in. He's a long-time studio bassist. But the original core 5 are going in. John Bon Jovi, David Bryan, Tico Torres, Alec John Such, and the big elephant about whether or not he'll perform, Richie Sambora. Both John and Tico and David all agree they are open to the thought of Richie and or Alec John being invited to play. John said, oh, yeah. Sambora's absolutely invited to play alongside Phil, and same with Alec with Hugh McDonald. I think it's a celebration. This is not a tour. This may not lead to anything. This is a one-off night that everyone should certainly show up with a smile and sing the songs. The same invite would be extended to Alec and Richie, especially Richie. He was my right-hand man for a long time, so it's never any ill will, like I just told everybody about why he left in 2013. He just didn't want to show up. He just didn't show up anymore. We ran out, but he was there for 3 decades, and he should be there to celebrate. David Bryan and Tico echoed the sentiments. When Tico says, absolutely, he would love to play with Richie and Alec. And David said, yeah, why not? We both agreed they're a huge part of us. We love it. They played with us. I definitely agree. They haven't played with Tico, and Bryan has not played with John along with Alec. Alec John Such appeared at a concert in 2001. I just saw that clip last week on YouTube. So they have not performed with Alec in about 15 years, of course. It's been almost 5 years since Richie Sambora left. So I would love to see the original core members of Jovi back together on stage. And John says it may be a one-off. Could it lead to a permanent reunion, especially with Richie? It may lead to something, but for right now, they're saying it's a one-off if Richie and Alex show up. So it would not be complete without, especially Richie. You know, Phil X is a decent guitar player, but he's no Richie Sambora. So there's that. There's the thoughts on who is going in. Of course, as I mentioned, Judas Priest were one of the vote getters in the fan ballot, and a lot of their fans were shocked that they weren't in, that Nina Samone replaced them. It's kind of bullshit. You know what I mean? But hey, maybe Nina had more votes in the total tally, because Judas Priest only counted as 1 vote in the total tally. You know, the fan ballot, the fan vote. So maybe they got enough total votes from the committee. Nina got more votes, and Judas' vote in the committee didn't count. Or maybe there's some politics going on. Maybe there was like, oh, we don't want metal in there. Like Metallica's in there, Deep Purple got in there, Wash is in there, Priest needs to get in there. So I hope Priest gets on the ballot again next year and get voted in. Ain't no bullshit. You know what I mean? If they win the fan ballot, get them in. But like I said, that's what happened to the Cards the last couple of years. They were the top 5 vote getters, and they still didn't get in. And they finally got in, like the second or third try. But of course, the biggest stunner in many people's eyes is Radiohead not getting in. A lot of people predicted that Radiohead would be a shoo-in to get in the Hall of Fame on their first try for their influence. You know, they've getting all these like different bands the last couple of years, getting Wash in, getting Deep Purple in. But now they're focusing on FM radio favorites. Like Journey's got in the last couple of years. Hard. Cheap Trick. And now you got the Cards and the equivalent to Journey, Bon Jovi, going in next year. You know, 2018. So, shocking that Radiohead did not get in. But they already stated that they were not going to be attending it anyway if they went in. Because they're on a South America tour. That might have swayed the votes, knowing that Radiohead would not show up. Maybe they'll get in 2019. Who knows? Oh, I am also stunned that Rage Against the Machine didn't get in there. They weren't even the top 10 fan ballot voting. So it's kind of sad that both Radiohead and Rage did not do well in the fan voting. That had an influence on how the main voting swayed. I think Rage should eventually get in there. You know, it's sad they did not get in. Rufus got shafted again. Jay Giles got shafted again. Are they ever going to get in or what? Jay Giles has been on the ballot so many times like Rufus. It's like, are they ever going to get in or what? You know what I mean? What do they have to do to get the fans to vote him in to help them get a total vote in the committee? You know? In Depeche Mode once again for the second year in a row didn't get in. Went for me. I would have loved to have seen them in, especially I wanted to go to see him in Cleveland. The induction ceremony is in Cleveland. So I would love to have seen Depeche get in. Of all bands I wanted to see in the Hall of Fame this year, I wanted to see Depeche. I knew there was a snowball chance in hell. But I wanted to see him because I was going to the ceremony. The ceremony will be, of course, on April 14th at Cleveland's Public Hall. Every 3 years, the induction ceremony is in Cleveland. There'll be lots of events going on, including free admission day to the museum, various events happening around the museum. Details of that and ticket information will be announced later. They're saying ticket information for the ceremony will be announced in January. I was hoping the tickets would be on sale this week. right before Christmas. You know, it's Christmas time, and I'm planning a whole trip around it. You know, I'm going to the ceremony. Then the next day, I'm going to Columbus because one of my favorite wrestling companies, Ring of Honor, just so happens to be in town. So, I'm going to go to the Hall of Fame and the wrestling show on the way home the next day. So, making a whole trip. Got the tickets to Ring of Honor now. And I was hoping to hear Hall of Fame ticket sale. We're going on sale this week, but they're not. They're not announcing shit till January. So, anyway, can't wait me to get the tickets. Hope they're not too much. Hope they're not CMA prices. CMA Awards was like $150 for the cheap seats. So I hope we don't do that shit for the Hall of Fame induction. But I don't give a damn. I'll spend how much money I can do. If I'm willing to spend $75 on a Prince hoodie, who is in the Hall of Fame, I'll spend a lot more money on the Hall of Fame ticket. And I spend like $150 for a ticket for a festival. That would be weird. It's paying the same price as a festival for Hall of Fame induction. So, congrats to all that went in this year who are going in. And to those who did not get in this year, they all say better luck next year. There's a lot of bands that were on the ballot this year may not be on the ballot again. You know, like some weird guy got in there, I forget his name. But I'd love to see the Passion on the ballot again. You went next one on the ballot this year. Would have loved to have seen them get in. But they didn't get in. That's a robbery in many people's eyes. And like I said, the biggest shock is Radiohead in No Wage. So, there were congrats to Bon Jovi, The Cause, Dire Straits, Moody Blues, Nina Simone, and sister Rosetta Tharpe. And that is it for my thoughts on the Hall of Fame class of 2018. With that in mind, you've all been attacked by the thoughts, not review, but the thoughts from Zach. See you later. Bye-bye.